dude, stop getting in my face, man. It pisses me off. You're always giving me shit. That's why I like beating him up, man. He scares me every single day when I walk into the gym. Lights are off, all of a sudden I see Bob there, or Jake who's hiding in the corner and doesn't tell me he's here. I can't tell you how many times I almost pooped my pants seeing that kid. He's watching me. Training jiu-jitsu solo without a partner can be incredibly hard. You guys have some great ground tools like a grappling dummy and basic balls that you can use to develop movement patterns, even solo drills on the mat. Those are all wonderful, developing the all-around movements of jiu-jitsu. But what if you want to take a combative jiu-jitsu approach, where someone might be standing and throwing punches at you, where you need to learn how to enter in and make a connection and then get the fit for the throws? Well, the body opponent bag or the freestanding body opponent bag, I actually think they call it the Versus bag by Century, is one of the best tools I've found to start developing those fits, those connections, and starting to blend in striking, grappling, entering in into one, pattern where you really can't get that without a partner. So let's look at some 6, maybe 7 drills today and flows to develop a grappling, entering, and combative jiu-jitsu approach to fighting using B.O.B. The way I've configured B.O.B is I put him in slightly left leg lead. I think it makes it a little bit more natural, and that we have, his arms are actually interesting in the way they're shaped. They kind of mirror sometimes a control position, also they can mirror a punch. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pretend that B.O.B is throwing a punch, and then we're gonna use an entering in skill. We're gonna use tri-tac frames to enter in and get a connection to an overhook, and then add some knees. So let's watch what happens. So first, I can't play true self-defense because B.O.B is not far away from me and swinging, so I have to be inside the pocket already, and I'm gonna make a strong frame. I'm gonna go to my left side, so I can either use frame 2, frame 1, or simply get an oh shit defense to get my hands up. It doesn't matter, but all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a step in, and I'm gonna almost aim, not almost, I am gonna aim for B.O.B's rear shoulder and take a step towards the incoming punch. So let's just use basic frame 2, boom. I've entered in. Now I have a connection. Now this can be very aggressive. We're just going over the mechanics of it right now. I have a connection to B.O.B, and all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a reinforcement step. And this is one of the reasons why I like B.O.B, because I'm not gonna actually move him that easy. So I've entered in, defending against that punch, and now my left foot and left hand are gonna travel. Boom. And this is where we snake our overhook control. All right, first of all, we're gonna play a little self-defense. That B.O.B is throwing that big haymaker punch, and we're gonna enter in. We use a frame concept. So I'm defending to my left side. I'm either put a frame 2, I'm gonna personally use based on how my body feels and how tight I am on the left side. You can use a frame 1 where both hands will come together and meet on that side. Or you can use no shit defense. Whatever fits your basic mind, that's fine. We're not just gonna go like this and enter in and just get smashed, right? We could also use a jam entrance where I would slide over. In fact, I'll do both of these things. Let's go frame entrance, then a jam entrance to pretend, or using the thought that B.O.B is throwing and pretending that B.O.B is throwing a big right haymaker. I'm gonna start a little far away, so actually I'm gonna use an entering skill. As I step in, I'm gonna get my hands nice and close together into my frame 2. And what I like about frame 2 is to let me have a strong hand over the top. And now I'm gonna take a reinforcement step on my left leg. That will create my angle, and then my arm is sort of whizzing in for my overhook control, and my right hand is to come around the back of B.O.B's neck, use my forearm as a frame, and I back step. This is great. This is what I like about B.O.B. Look how much off-balancing effect I got already on him. Now I throw a strong knee, boom, and back out. Our basic entering in. I come in again, I almost hands down, I bring my hands up and like, oh shit defense, boom, crash in, step again and reinforce, frame to the inside control. Now I connect my right hand, my right foot, that brings B.O.B's weight with me. And if I've got enough bend over, boom, we can bring him to the head, or we just come to the body, bam, and we can of course skip step and hit a knee again. One more time in a frame entrance. So I'm gonna use frame 2 again. Now this is a way you can start playing with this, that you start hands down, you're unawares, and you're just coming in crashing, or you start from your fence position and now you're working your way in, or maybe you start coming with a boxer's guard. That's up to you. The fact, the way B.O.B is shaped and the way he's not moving, right? So I have to kind of play the game a little bit, that I am moving myself into him as well as him moving to me. But that's one of the biggest things we actually try to teach when entering in. You're entering, you're not receiving in. So if I drive into it, if I get used to moving my feet to attack the punch with my defense, well then defense and your counter becomes much easier. So good habit, start from the fence. I'm in the fence, I enter my frame too, boom. I establish my overhook control, knee, and reset. Now, right from here, I hit my knee. All we're gonna do is, as we step down, we're gonna push off our rear foot and use our right elbow and clamp down on the left side to really steer Bob. Now I'm in a beautiful position for Osoto Gari. I hook my foot behind and I can get that sit and bend in Bob's leg to know that I'm truly getting a good fit for Osoto. And I think that was the first time I realized that Bob was a good grappling dummy, because I got that fit. I was like, oh wow, this actually feels like a person. It has that like little bounce and resistance I want to feel when I know I'm actually gonna get to throw again. Okay, we use a frame entrance. Now let's use a jam entrance. Bob's throwing a haymaker again. And this look very similar to the long arm in Muay Thai. That I jam in, reinforcement step. Now the benefit of this is I have a right elbow. Reinforcement step, bam, right elbow to the neck, cap the back of the head, knee, re-steer, boom. And now we're into our Osoto. Jam in, boom, knee, readjustment step, and nice Osoto Gari fit. Great way to simply understand how to enter in, move your feet, connect, establish that strong overhook control, and Bob's not gonna go with you. So you actually are fighting someone. It gives you a real feel. It's unique. I didn't expect to have that reaction when I first started trying to fuck Bob up. But he's a good dummy to fuck up. Now we also could take this a little offensively. Let's say I want to use Osoto Gari again, but I'm gonna crash and attack the other side. So let's say I throw a jab cross, boom, boom. Now, in good striking principles or just good thought process of hips and body position, I've exhausted my right side, my left side is loaded, I've got my left hand up, make sure I'm being aware of that punch, but now I'm gonna step across. I'm gonna take a walk-through step by right foot, angle out to the outside, and bring a frame in on this side. I'll use frame one. So I come across diagonal, bam. Now I'm in frame one, and now we're very similar position, we're unwind. This unwinding feeling is a little hard to do on Bob, but when you're here, the idea of unwinding, like striking to your position, striking to your control is a unique feel. You see some arts, very pronounced, that very exaggerated, drive, feeling. It's kind of like that same opening from that frame. So when you enter in, boom, boom, you drive in, boom, boom. All right, I took that reinforcement step there, and now I have my knee again, and I could choose to put my knee down or take that re-push, and bam. Sorry, I could choose a knee again or use a knee to push. What I like about this side is last time we were attacking his rear side and using his attack to essentially blend the energy together. This is all my attacking energy. So I'm going forward and I am attacking the lead side of my Osoto Gari to make it easier for me to take him down. So when I jab cross, when I walk through, here comes my walk through step. I take my walk through step. Now I'm in lead side and I hit my knee, boom, right to my Osoto. What's also unique about this particular side is I now have like a double overhook or double like inside hook. Grip, not hard to do on this side, but you get this feeling of having Osoto both ways. Do I do an overhook or do that double inside control? So one more time that one, jab cross. Now you don't need to be in a frame. I just keep my left hand, also with left elbow as I'm coming in. Boom. Drop it, knee, and you see my hands are hooking, double, steer off, and go. Striking to your entries is actually a great drill to do on Bob to begin with. And there's a few different ways we can strike to our entries. One of the simplest ways is just get a jab, double jab, or jab cross going. And you can use your frame entries or your crashes a couple different ways. Let me show you. So first, I get a jab. I can use a basic principle. All right, I've used my left, I'm gonna use my right. And instead of throwing a right punch, I use my right hand, as simple as right direct elbow per frame. Let me crash right in. So jab, and again, I could be in a split frame. I do not need to bring my hands into a brace. That's just years of being in tri-tac, what we do sometimes when we're crashing the line, we want to get as much defensive structure up as possible. I don't want to have any pockets for people to punch me. So now I throw my jab, I enter in a direct side, frame one, boom, and we're back to our controls. Or we use a split frame concepts, jab, boom. Now I'm in a split frame. Do I snake under, do I snake over? But we're using our footwork and our elbows combined to close those distance and make sure we don't get touched on the way in. We can also use a double jab. Boom, boom. And when I'm using my double jab, now I have the luxury of kind of creating that angle a little bit to really smash in, boom, and flow directly to our controls. Jab cross, boom, boom. Now, another way to look at jab cross, the first time, well, there's two ways of looking at jab cross entry. I throw my jab cross, and I now use the same concept where I use my right, I go to my left, so I step across my right leg, bring my left side on, either into a split frame, frame one, frame two, whatever you feel comfortable with, or we throw a jab cross, and I pretend I'm throwing a left hook, so I'm actually pushing off my rear leg to come in for my hook, so I throw a jab cross, boom, and now I push off and burst, boom, straight at him. Really good way for closing the distance. It's almost like setting a sprinter's foot, my right foot, then into the hole. The downside of that is I'm going to cover less distance. I'll cover distance very quickly, but a short distance, where if I use a walk-through step, I'm covering more distance, but slower. Up to you. Another great way of integrating a clinch or getting to a clinch with Bob is using a long hook concept. So I can use this off a double jab again. Boom, boom. And I throw a long hook past Bob's head. Boom. And for you guys with long hook, it snakes out, just turns in a little bit. Bunk, bunk. It's like a long jab that takes an angle. And I like the long hook because if you kind of curl that wrist in, if you kind of almost aim, I'm going to aim the back of my two knuckles for the back of his skull, back of his brainstem, which ain't the nicest thing to receive, but we're talking about combat here. I'm talking about getting someone offline. I'm talking about moving their head. So I want them to feel essentially a concussive blow as I'm coming in. So boom, boom, long hook, bam. And then our right hand either can snap, bam, right for a descending hammer into my tie clinch, boom, or we actually can hammer straight right down the face and then build from our clinch from there. But this jab, cross, boom, long, and bam, hammer. Great tool, smash right down the center line or start coming to the neck. Another great entry off of Bob's strike or entering to his rear sides is the Osoto Gari. Let's use it offensively this time. I'm gonna throw a jab cross, boom, and I'm gonna burst to that shoulder and just make a simple oh shit defense. Boom. Same thing, travel through, we get our overhook. I hit a knee. Now, when I bring the knee back, I change the angle, step to you, and I get my hips turning over. Now, if I actually want to take a throw off this, I can't throw Bob, but I take a throw, I would then snake to far side wrist control, elbow, something even in the neck, and you can come to the shoulder. But I'd far side wrist control, get my hips over, and now you can see already that I'm getting Bob in a good Uchi Mata, and I can get that nice, good fit. And really feel like, yeah, I'm about to take Bob over, which I like. You know, like you don't get that feeling with most grappling dummies. So jab cross, bam, bam, burst in, over, knee. Now my knee sets my foot, turn that hip over, and now I'm getting a good fit for my Uchi Mata. You can also start playing with the Uchi Mata, the front head series. Boom, boom, frame two entrance, bam, come over, knee, back step, Uchi Mata, chase ahead, bring them up, bam, bam. Bob's having a bad day. Cool series, kind of fun, but that's what's, just get creative with Bob and tip him over and move, make him shift a little bit. You get some cool reactions. So again, boom, boom, I burst in, boom, hit that control, knee, step, Uchi, bring his head down, front head finish, bam, bring it up, internal hammer, bam, bam. You might use striking to grappling, and then grappling didn't work, so I have to go back to striking, which might bring me back to grappling. Or I go striking to grappling, and grappling didn't work the first time, so I change to the next thing in grappling, which brings me back to striking. So it's getting fixated in a one-to-one, or like I go this, and if this doesn't happen, I stop and it failed and I suck as a martial artist. Get used to trying to be a little creative, as in, okay, this didn't go perfectly. where can I go next with this? Or like what position I am that I've done before and something else is there. So that's what makes wrestlers phenomenal fighters sometimes, is that they're really good at chain wrestling, the term of chaining from one technique to another technique to another technique to another technique. When you see wrestlers or any grappler fail or any martial arts fail, it's like they throw 1 or 2 and they just forget to throw 3. Or they go for double leg, get sprawled on, and they forget to cut the corner. So there's a lot of ways we can continue our progress. And off of this, you can't take Bob down, but you can't chain a lot to other things and then bring back your striking, which I think is just so cool. So one more time on that Uchi Mata one. Boom, boom, jab, cross. Now, of course, we can do it the lead side too. Boom, boom. I stepping in, and I have my overhook, my knee, I step off, I hit my Uchi feel. There's his head, I chase the front head, boom, I bring him up, I shoot a double leg after. It just can keep going and going and going. But just a great way to blend and get inside. So some of the themes you're probably seeing already, guys, is that we're using some striking controls and then getting to Bob's joints, just like any other person. Now, my body height always tends to bring myself over. Bob's 6 feet tall, I'm like 6'2", so that an overhook makes it more sensitive. But if you're shorter, everything I've done works really well with an underhook. Problem is with Bob and me is that he doesn't really adjust well to my height. I have to adjust to his height. One of my favorite concepts for entering in is called killing the lead. I just think this is very smart, very efficient, and it applies to a lot of different things. Not just street combat, survival combat, not unarmed, not weapons. It has a lot of places. So very, very simplistic in nature, but a great way to train for a lot of different entries and connections for throws, takedowns, strikes, etc. So angle Bob a little bit more so he's left leg lead, and this is that lead hand when we're addressing. Right now, let's say he's either punching or he's got a neutral stance, and we're gonna use it to enter in. So killing the lead is a start from a fence position. It's an aggressive parry followed by a left elbow or lead elbow. My elbow could be a combination, or is a combination of defense and offense. Since I am closing the distance, I have to be aware of that rear hand attack. So I'm not gonna leave my hand down and just take a big shot. I wanna make sure that I get some sort of structure in, and I'm gonna aim for Bob's chin, front of his face, with my nose, with my elbow, with a slight cant. So really slow, boom. Fence, I crash down, so it's like my left foot and my right hand and left elbow all work together. Boom, boom, okay. What I am not doing is slamming this right hand down. Boom, it's just there. We're just trying to keep that initial cover. As long as I have the inside control of my right hand, I'll be able to pummel in or use this basic structure. So, kill lead, boom. This is an interesting feeling. That once I kill lead, bam, I back out and I hammer. And I hammer to my clinch. So, boom, boom. I'm maintaining this. We can travel underneath if I need to. But we're getting truly combative. This structure right now is phenomenal to unleash a beautiful headbutt. Boom, boom. I'm using my clinch. I'm just plastering Bob's temple, his jaw, his ear, with my forehead. But once, maybe twice. I mean, it's a very violent exchange right now. But we're playing street survival combat compared to some dude I'm rolling with on the mat. Please don't do this to your training partners. So I kill a lead, boom, boom, bam. Now, we're gonna play with the underhook. So what's nice about the lead, you have this killing the lead concept, that I now have this top hand that I could feed through the hole with my foot. Now I have a strong underhook control, and I'm back to a knee series, boom. We can attack our front headlock, we can go our Uchi Matas, we can go back to our Osoto Gari. Just a really, really strong position. And we'll later get to the little duck unders, but you do have a strong underhook. Obviously, duck under is a very viable option for you as well. Bob's a little hard to get duck unders on, but maybe because of my height, but a really great tool. So, again, kill lead, boom, back out, drop that headbutt, boom. Follow your right hand, right foot, establish that underhook. You got the little back step and bent and knee. That'll break his posture, chain down your front headlock again. You bring him up, into hammer, extra hammer, boom. Nice finish. One more time. Boom, follow through, knee, maybe go to Osoto, maybe cut underneath Uchi Mata, maybe a duck under. It's all there. Killing the lead. Very, very strong concept. It applies to not just street combat, MMA, grappling, it's everywhere. So very, very intelligent, at least I think so, very intelligent way of getting inside. One of my favorite concepts for entering lately has been the tie hop. Very smart, very simplistic, and it works well from a variety, whether you're using for pure stand-up combat, if you're using for MMA, as well as grappling. And we're just basically using a shield structure and hopping in, and it comes great off of a front kick, which means I've established a little bit of feinting setup first. So with Bob, we're gonna get a little bit of the jab range, and I'm gonna use my lead leg front kick, boom, just get a little bit of touch going. Just to get Bob reacting to my lead leg. And the movement pattern I'm making, I'm going right foot step, glide off, boom. And we're gonna use that same movement pattern, right foot step, glide off, hop, boom. Let's do that again. So I establish a few front kicks, lead leg, maybe get a couple jabs, cross going, keep my range, boom. And it might just be, if you're in a self-defense situation, you might just be using to keep that person away. And now you use it again, hide it, bring the knee up, hop in, and then we're gonna level change if we can. Bam. From here, we're gonna use Osoto Gaki. I get a couple kicks, boom, boom. Hop it in, level change, I walk through, and get a strong bilateral grip. Now, all I do with my left leg is shift my weight. Again, this is why I like Bob. You can plant them on that leg, and you can feel, whoops, you can feel a strong Osoto hook come in. And you can stay there, or you kind of feel that you almost have to hit it and go away. Again, couple front kicks, boom, boom. Tie hop, level change on your hop entry, step through, nice tight clinch, shift your weight, Osoto hook, back out. And it's always good, even if you are gonna use a front kick, get a post hand, be in your fence, be defensive. Boom, get that feeling, just touching, because it's, sure, we want to do damage with a front kick, but our lead leg front kick, right now it's just a touch. It's almost like a warning as well as setting something up. Boom, boom, I get a touch, hop it in, level change, walk through the hole, shift my weight, Osoto hook. What's tough about finishing with that Osoto hook is that when underneath, you really can't get like that rotational spin. Maybe you can a little bit, but there's that like when you're on the Osoto, you're in a hook, and it's like dropping rotation. That's a little hard to get the pure fit on Bob, but you definitely can get your understanding of level changing, entering in that tie hop, and start establishing that hook where it really starts taking their balance. So one more time. Okay. And it does help Bob a little square because his lead hand, you gotta fit through the hole. Boom, boom. Tie hop, double change, through the hole, shift the weight, boom. Guys, make sure, when I teach a tie hop here, some of the initial reactions is like this bringing of the hands down. Make sure you have some sort of cover. Like think about you creating this barrier. Listen, I mean, just Google tie hop, search on YouTube. There's tons of Thai guys who will go into pure details on how to do this properly. It's a great principle that we can use, but just make sure we're shielded up. We're not just exposing ourselves, entering in. That's the whole point. We're entering into the chaos zone, have some sort of structure in place so you can get control of them. All right, let's hit that foot sweep again on Fuckface Bob over here. So we're going to enter in off of our jam entrance. Boom. Elbow straight to the neck because Bob likes it. I throw a knee because Bob likes that too. And then step off line. And now this is where everything changes. I start drawing and pulling Bob to my lead shoulder, using my combination to pull my arm, my right elbow to steer. I'm hitting that foot sweep. I enter in, boom, elbow to the neck, knee to the sternum, step off, steer, foot sweep. Fun feel. You want to actually get, I mean, I don't know how many of you actually tried a foot sweep before. Simplistic in nature in the thought process, but exceptionally hard to actually pull off. Dude, stop getting in my face, man. It's fucking pissing me off. You're always giving me shit. That's why I like beating him up, man. He scares me every single day when I walk into the gym. Lights are off, all of a sudden I see Bob there, or fucking Jake who's hiding in the corner and doesn't tell me he's here. I can't tell you how many times I almost pooped my pants seeing that kid. He's watching me. So, yeah, guys, foot sweeps, really, really tough to pull off. Really easy to pull off if someone's stepping in light, but when you're actually fighting a hard opponent, getting them to shift their weight so they're almost stumbling and then tripping over your foot is essentially what you're looking for. And Bob's actually a great way to get that going. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Have I think it's up to 7 solo drills we did to get the good feeling of entering in, connecting, and using some basic jiu-jitsu throws and takedowns that you can actually develop using a training dummy where you always don't have to have a partner in class. Thank you for watching.